Hey, what is up everybody? This is Mark, and today I'm going to review the file for the Half Moon tiered shelf design. I want to cover two things before we get into the pieces. Number one, this design as you see it here will fit on one and about a third sheet of 11 by 19 material. So in other words, all of these pieces here will fit on one sheet, and then these will need to fit on another sheet. So it's close but doesn't quite make it onto one sheet of material. Second thing I want to cover is the thickness of material that I used. I've got up here, I've got this sample slot here for you, and what this represents is the thickness of my material, which is 0.214. So I want you to either measure with your calipers or go ahead and cut this slot here and then test your material in this slot. Then you'll know if you need to adjust the slots in the design or not. And of course, once you get done with this piece, you can delete this. You don't need to keep this part. And then over here, all this represents is a stack of two pieces of material on top of one another. And the slots, when added together, the slots are 0.428. And that refers to slots just like this one right here. This is 0.428, which is two pieces stacked on top of each other. All right. So once you figure out whether you need to adjust these or not, then you can move forward by cutting or adjusting the rest of the design. So at the end of this video, I'm going to come back and show you how to adjust those slots if you need help. But for now, we're just going to go over the pieces. So starting from the left and going to the right, we've got two pieces that are identical, just like this one. There's this one and this one here. And those two pieces stack underneath this one and this one to comprise the shelves. And what that ends up looking like is that you've got an inset open area in each one of those. And the material that comes out of the inside of this piece and out of the inside of this piece, you're going to keep if you'd like to perhaps paint that a different color and then set them back in there as an inset. Or you can take the inside of this piece and cut it out of something else, like perhaps clear acrylic or something like that, and then set it back in here as an inset. When you watch the project overview video as well, it will make a whole lot of sense to you. So make sure you watch that if you have not already. The pieces that come out of the inside of these thicker half moons, you can discard those. You can use them for other projects, but they're not going to be used in this particular project here. All right. So keep the inside of these two. You can discard the inside of these two. So what you do is after you've cut these, I'll try to turn these around so that they're more easy to see it this way. We've got them sitting here at this angle to maximize the usage of materials. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up setting them right on top of each other like this. Let me move it out here to the side. After you cut them, you're going to stack them like that. And then this stack of two pieces is going to go into this slot and this slot. And then the next one will go into this one and this one, and that'll make up the main back piece of the shelves and the two shelves. And then this piece right here, the long one, this one's going to go right up along the back, and it's going to, the slot is going to go right into here. And you will not have to adjust this one because this piece right here remains the same no matter what material you're using. So you don't need to adjust that one, but you may need to adjust this one and this one, these six that you can see right here. And then also this piece right here, we're going to rotate like this just so you can see it. And it's going to go in the front of everything. And that's going to catch on the front lip of this one right here. And then also the front lip of the next one that goes right here. So again, when you watch the project overview video, that'll all make sense. So I'm going to undo real quick, kind of throw all these pieces back where they started. And that's all the pieces in the file. So make sure you watch the project overview, and this will all make sense to you. Now you can stop the video here, or I'm going to continue going on to talk about how you would measure and adjust the slots. Okay, so if you're still here with me, that means you want to see how to adjust these slots. I'm using Illustrator. You can use whatever program you want. The process should be kind of the same. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to outline mode, which basically just turns off all the stroke thicknesses so I can really see exactly what size these are. And what you want to do here is once you've measured your material, you're going to either be able to cut it just like this, or you're going to have to adjust the width of these slots right here. So what I recommend that you do is, let's just say for sake of this conversation that your material is, let's say 0.23. So I'm going to make a rectangle here that's long. The length of this doesn't matter. I just care about the width. Then I'm going to go up here to the transform panel and I'm going to type in 0.23 because that's what we decided that our material is, okay? 0.23. Now remember that all of these slots here represent a stack of 2 pieces. So I actually know that I'm not going to need this to say 0.23. I'm going to need it to say twice that, which is 0.46, all right? So I'm going to go back up here and change that now to 0.46 now that we've talked about it, 0.46. And that is going to represent the stack of 2 pieces. So I'm going to copy this onto my clipboard just in case I mess something up so I have another one. And I'm going to take it right down to here to this slot. I'm going to line it up as best I can centered here. It doesn't have to be dead center, but just visually pretty close, okay? Just like this. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to then go to the direct selection tool, which is this one right here, that allows me to move nodes. And there's 2 ways to actually, let me back up. There's 2 ways to do this. You can either select this node and this one, I'll show you both ways, and drag it out like this with the shift button down, and then click that one and hold shift, and then drag this one here. And now you've got these adjusted to the right size, and you just work your way around the design. Let me zoom out a little bit and do that with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those slots. That'll take you, I mean, you see how fast that was for me. That'll take you a couple minutes at most to adjust that. But let me show you the other way to do it, which I actually prefer myself. I'm going to undo here a few times. Okay, let me go back into here. Now I've got this rectangle. I'm going to again place it. The one thing I'm going to pay attention to that's different from the other time is I'm going to get the top of that slot aligned properly right there, okay? And then left to right, I'll get it pretty close. It doesn't have to be dead on, but let's just eyeball it. And I think that's going to be pretty good. Get it right there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my rectangle and I'm going to select my piece as well, the main piece. And this is the reason why I copied and pasted. If I select those 2 and then go down to Pathfinder minus front, it's just going to cut that out for me right away. Nice and neat, don't have to move any nodes. So then I go down to the next one, paste my shape back in there, line this up the way I want it. Let's see, it's about right there. Select both again, Pathfinder minus front, and you see how fast that was. And I can work my way around all 8 of them in probably a minute and a half or so. And then I've got it all good to go. So I hope that helps you with the adjustment if you need. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say the obvious. That's if your material is bigger than my slots. If it's smaller, let me just undo a few more times here. If it's smaller, the first principle is the way you want to go. So you put this piece right on top. I'll move it up a little bit to get out of the way. Oops, sorry, right. Move it up a little bit. And then what you do is go to your direct selection tool again, and let's say that your material is smaller, like let's say it's, I don't know, 0.4 together. Okay, so here's a stack of 2.2s, right? I'll line it up here, centered or so. And then all you do is just grab the nodes on the left side, shift click, drag it in, and then of course, shift click, drag it in, and you're done. And that one's done. You just move your way around all the 8 different slots. So that's how you do it if it's bigger. That's how you do it if it's smaller. I hope that helps.